Hey everyone, this is Rick Catalano, and here's your transformation tip for today. In our initial webisode, we discussed that 65% of digital transformations end up being over budget, delivering late, or failing to deliver the value outlined in their original business case. Well, one of the culprits that cause these types of failures is improper planning on what it's truly going to take to successfully implement your digital transformation. Now, unless you implement large-scale digital transformations for a living, these types of endeavors are probably not part of your organization's core set of competencies. And as a result, you are probably going to seek the assistance of companies who do this type of work for a living and leverage their skilled resources, industry expertise, methodologies, organizational know-how to help you navigate the treacherous waters of enterprise digital transformation implementations. Now, the problem that you're going to run into as you're trying to figure all this stuff out is that the collective firms that you are talking to and have invited to bid for this effort are in sales mode at this time. Therefore, the responses and the estimates that you are going to get from these firms are what I call the happy path implementations, meaning that they're going to assume that nearly everything is going to be a simple effort. You're going to be using out-of-the-box functionality. You're going to be responsible for getting your own data ready for them to load into this new system. There will be very little conflicts, risk, or issues to deal with. You are completely staffed with the resources ready to hit the ground running. You get the drill. As a result, you're going to get estimates that show the fastest humanly possible implementation path with the minimum number of resources to make it happen. Because at this stage, all these firms are competing to be the lowest cost bid. So once you start socializing these numbers with your executive leadership, a behavioral cognitive bias called the anchoring effect kicks in. The anchoring effect bias essentially means that whatever the first figures in terms of time and budget your leadership hears is going to stick in their heads for the duration. And now, my friend, you are stuck with numbers that are most likely unrealistic to deliver to, and you'll already be behind schedule and over budget before you even start the project. So how do you overcome this problem? Well, my recommendation to you is to hire an independent advisor to help come up with a fair and balanced estimate of what it's really going to take to implement this effort. You want someone who has done this before and understands these pitfalls. And you want that person or team to be advocating for you, not trying to win the ginormous implementation. You really want a person to work with to help you build the most likely estimate that you can share internally with your executive leadership so that they'll have a better picture of what it's really going to take to deliver this initiative. I'm telling you, if you don't go through an exercise like this, you are putting your organization at risk and burning through a lot of cash, but the things that they just didn't anticipate. But you're also putting your career at risk because you're setting yourself up for failure. And that's just not a good way to start an enterprise digital transformation. My partners and I are seasoned veterans who have been through this dozens of times and have been doing this for decades. We know the ins and outs of what these vendors do because we've worked with them for years. It's times like this you need to be honest with yourself. Do you really have the skills internally to assess if you're getting a good set of planning numbers? It's here where you should be looking for help, and we would love to be the ones to help. So just click on the link below and schedule the time for us to chat. We can evaluate together whether or not you need a second set of eyes on your plan. Thanks for your time today. Please feel free to share this with your friends and colleagues, and we'll talk to you soon.